Hello, everybody. I'm hoping this works. It seems like Facebook has been having some troubles and some issues, so I'm not 100% sure if it's working. I'm checking to make sure. So bear with me. I'm looking to see. Yeah, looks like everything's on. Okay, good. Okay, so I hope everybody can hear me fine and everything that's going well. If you can't hear me, just let me know. I don't have all of my equipment with me. Not everything is where I needed, the microphone and everything like that. So I'm trying to do the best I can. So what we're doing is we are actually going to answer some questions that you may have and that a lot of people have had regarding the closures of Disney, the Disney parks being closed for a temporary amount of time and all that kind of stuff. So what we're going to do here is go through some of the questions that people have sent in to us to answer them, maybe put your mind a little bit at ease and just see if, I don't know, it may help you understand what's going on better. I know a lot of us are stressed out right now. We're stuck at home, off work, out of school, everything like that. But what we can do is at least just know that they're working on things and Disney's doing the same thing, working on whatever they can to try and maybe get back open as soon as possible. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go through some of the questions that have been sent in and see, let me see, just what the information may bring us. Hi, Janine. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Anybody that is here, thank you. Okay, first one. Do you think that once everything goes back to normal, buffets and club level offerings will be done differently? That's from Annie Cormier. Um, I don't really know. It's really hard to determine right now what's going to happen. Um, as of right now, Disney has simply said that everything at Walt Disney World, Disneyland as well, is going to be closed through March 31st up until April 1st. At that point, they should be open on April 1st, but they're continuing to monitor the situation. Once they reopen, whether it be April 1st, whether they delay it, I think some things, this is my personal opinion. Again, this is my opinion, not the views of Walt Disney World, Disneyland, the Walt Disney Company. I do believe that there will be some delays in things. I think that maybe not all amenities will be available right away. Maybe not all cast members will be available. Maybe not enough staff for this and that. So there may be limitations. Perhaps the restaurants could have different ways of doing things. The buffets may not let you approach the buffet. They may have you have the food brought to you by a server. Capacity at restaurants could be quite limited. It could end up being to a point where, you know, they are, let's see, where they are keeping the tables separated, where you have some space between you and the guests next to you. That's just how it may be from the start. I don't know if that's certain. That's just what I would assume with the rules that the CDC has put in place, that the government has put in place to keep people safe and keep them healthy. Hello to everybody that's there. Hi, Dana. Thank you all for joining me. So do I think that things will be back to normal right away once they open? If they open relatively soon, no. I do not think they will be back to normal right away. If they don't open for maybe a couple more weeks or so, it's possible they may be closer to it, but with some limitations. So I think it will be a little bit of time until things are back to quote unquote normal. Okay, next question. When Walt Disney World and Disneyland reopen, is there a good possibility that it will be a slow, gradual thing, or will they just open? Kind of goes hand in hand with the question just now from Annie Cormier. This one's from Sarah Miller. Thank you. I think they may end up doing things in phases. They may open, say, one or two of the parks first, say at Walt Disney World, maybe Magic Kingdom and Epcot, Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, I don't know, and could possibly keep them. Maybe not all the attractions will open up right away. Maybe some of the shows, Enchanted Tiki Room, PhilharMagic, some of those things may not open immediately. Maybe they will hold off on those a little bit more. Maybe they'll wait and see until more of the staff and the cast members come back in. I just don't know if they will right away go straight into having everything open, just full blazes right off the bat. I don't think that will be the case. I just think it's too. I'm not trying to sound wishy-washy here, but it's just hard to determine what's going to happen. Everything is so unsure right now. You look at everyday life, you talk about the grocery, you talk about pharmacies and your jobs and all this stuff. Walt Disney World, Disneyland, the Disney parks internationally, it could be a while till we're back to normal. I mean, they may open the parks within the next week and a half, like they're originally scheduled, April 1st. That could very well happen. But everything be at normal, I don't know if that will be the case. I think some things will be limited. I think things won't be exactly full on right off the bat. And I think it will take a little while. Seeing some questions down here real quick. Shannon Giles said, you have a cruise in July, have to be paid by April 6th. You may want to just give it a few days and wait and see. I would at least give it until after March 31st to make your final payment, maybe till give it as far as you can, because we don't know what's going to happen. Cruises have been pushed out a little bit more. And as of right now, we know that cancellations for Disney Cruise Line happen through April 13th departures. Sailings out of Canada are up until, I believe, June or July. It's simply due to Canada closing off its ports to all cruise lines. So I'd wait on that, give it a little bit of time. Many schools, yeah, I see that many schools have canceled for weeks and even a couple months, but that's not to say that Disney World, Disney Cruise Line, Disneyland will do the same things. So I would wait. If you can, if you have trips coming up, wait on them. If you have the time to wait and see that how things will go, give it some time. If you have the time to make your final payment, you're not there yet, give it some time. Many people are jumping the gun and many people are saying that you should just cancel, get right out. We're not going to be back to normal for 6 months. We're not going to be back to normal till August. Nobody knows that. We know what the CDC is saying. We know what the government is saying. We hear these warnings, but Disney, the government, CDC, everybody's monitoring. We don't know what's going to happen. Some businesses could open soon if things are, at a place where they're getting better. So we don't know. We have to wait and see. Shana, if you ride it out on your cruise and you don't cancel, I don't know what will happen. You would have to rely on what Disney's policies are at the time. As of right now, they have cruises canceled into mid-April. So you're going to want to wait and see. You're going to want and wait and see just what happens. Maybe give it up until your final payment date and see if any policy changes have come about. So don't rush into it, but also give yourself the benefit of the doubt and make that decision when your final payment date comes up. Let's see. Okay, we have a question from Jana Neff Carpenter. Will it affect the progress of ongoing park projects that were to be completed for the 2021 50th anniversary at Walt Disney World? I think that's a very good possibility. We did find out this past week, I think it was Tuesday, on Tuesday, that they said that all construction projects were coming to a halt at Walt Disney World. They may do work every now and then. They may have a skeleton crew come in, do little things, but Tron, Guardians of the Galaxy, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, the overhaul of Epcot, I think those things have been put on hold right now. Delays are not a bad thing when you're considering the situation that we're in with the coronavirus. It's okay for them to be delayed. It's okay for them to be pushed back a little bit. We're not wanting to put anybody in danger. We're not wanting anybody to be out there when they shouldn't be. We want everybody to follow the rules and guidelines of the CDC that puts them at the least amount of risk possible. We know that's what's happening outside of the Disney bubble, and we know that people are trying to stay safe and that employers are trying to keep their employees safe. So Disney is looking at it kind of the same way. So if things are meant to be done by this summer or things are meant to be done by early next year, they may be delayed a little bit. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all to have delays if it means that's keeping people safe. So let's just go with that. And let's just say that there's still a lot of time until the actual 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World, which will be October 1st of 2021. Officially, it may have started early, but we don't know that yet. They haven't released those details. So there's still time to do things, even if there are delays. But I do believe that some completion dates, some opening dates will be pushed back. Again, my personal opinion. Hi to all those that have joined me in the last couple of minutes. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for following along. Yes, as I did state, all construction work is on hold. That is true, but we don't know how much that may or may not delay what their plans are. That's why Disney doesn't give a lot of they don't really give a lot of exact dates when it comes to when things are going to open. They do that purposely because they want to give themselves the benefit of the doubt and want to give themselves a little leeway into allowing delays to happen. I mean, think about, Toy Story Land. One of the problems from Toy Story Land is that it almost didn't open on time, and they actually were completing things up to the very day it opened that June. And that's because we have experienced a ton of rain over like the 2 or 3 months leading up to the opening of Toy Story Land. And it delayed a lot of construction. They weren't able to do all the work they needed to do on certain days. It pushed things back. It stopped them from being able to progress. And they were in a bit of a rush in that last week, 2 weeks leading up to Toy Story Land's opening. So with the 50th anniversary coming up and all these new things opening, the Reflections Resort over where Discovery Island used to be, and River Country, all of these things could be pushed back, but we don't really know. Like Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, we know was opening this summer, but we didn't have an exact date. So Disney could say, okay, well, you thought it was going to be June. It's now going to be August. That's still summer. They cover themselves, and that's good. But if things need to be delayed further, right now with the situation that's going on, it'd be perfectly understood. And I hope that people can understand that. I really do. Let's see. Upon reopening, would you forecast park attendance to be sparse, or will people jam into the gates because they're so happy to see the reopening? Question from Chris Julian. Thank you, Chris. That's a very good question. I've seen a lot of closures in the past. I was there when 9/11 happened. I saw the parks then. I've been around for numerous hurricanes. Matthew, my wife Stacy, and I were on the Disney Dream at the time when that hit. Irma, we went over to Animal Kingdom Lodge and, as they say, hunkered down, stayed there. And leading up to it, people that were still happened to be around the parks and hadn't left, the parks were kind of empty. The parks were kind of slow, but that's to be understood. People were taking precaution, and many had left. Afterwards, there were a day or two where it was a little slow, but then business picked up and went back to normal. Didn't take very long. But with this situation and so much being unknown and people being worried about what may happen or what may not happen and who they're around and stuff like that, I don't know if people will jam pack into it the day or two after it opens. I think once we find a date that the parks are reopening, exactly, whether it be April 1st or whether they push it out, we don't know. I think there will be a number of people there waiting. There are a number of people that want to get there. There are a number of people that do not want to be without the parks any longer. They don't want to push it out any further, and they want to be there and just know that they want to get some normalcy back in their lives, some happiness, some magic, so to speak. So I don't think it'll be a full-on ton of people there on the day or two of its opening, but I think it'll be a good-sized crowd because I think Disney will announce it a little bit in advance, so we'll know. Because as of right now, according to Disney, Walt Disney World and Disneyland, those parks are reopening April 1st. That's what we can go off of. Yes, the CDC has put some new guidelines in place. Yes, the government has said different things. Disney hasn't changed their stance on their reopening date as of now. That's what we're going with. Could be pushed out, may not be pushed out. We have to just wait and see what Disney officially says. Yes, Amanda, as I just said, the date of reopening as of this very moment is April 1st. So we're still looking at that. Chad Mueller, I see you asked, do you see Disney opening by July? I do. I mean, like I just said, April 1st is when they're scheduled. Do I think it could be pushed out? It's possible. I don't know, but I would assume so. By July, yes, I would definitely assume so. My assumption, my opinion. I don't know. I don't think it's seeing it close that long. We have seen advancements in different things. Especially over in China, they started dealing with the bulk of it back in January. And they've already had days where they haven't seen any new domestic cases. That happened yesterday, I believe. And that's great news. That is great for the world, not just for people wanting to get back to the Disney parks, but great for the world, period. Disneyland has already, they released a new discount, I think, yesterday. And for dates later this spring. So we'll just have to wait and see. I think that's the thing right now is people are waiting. We're waiting to hear new news. Just like when there were rumors early last week that Disney was going to be closing, everybody's waiting. We had speculation, but we didn't have exactly what was happening. Now everybody's like, okay, what's going to happen? Are we really opening April 1st? Are we really going to see the parks back in operation April 1st? As of right now, Disney says yes. So keep the positivity. Good point, Anna. Keep the positivity, keep things going, and just see what they say. That's all we can do. Is we don't have any more exact information than what Disney has released to us. That's all we can go off of. Let me see if we've got any other questions right now. We've got a number of them, but a lot of these are very similar. For those that are coming in right now, thank you for joining. And for those that are wanting to know some information about when they're reopening or they're delaying it, please watch this broadcast once it ends and go back and see I've covered that. And we're hoping for an April 1st opening, but that's what Disney says. We just don't know. Deanna Cueva. What about the painting of the castle? That goes along with the construction. Right now, they've put all construction work on hold. We're waiting on that. We're waiting to see what's going on with that. So all construction work is on hold right now. The majority of cast members have gone home. What's today? Today's Thursday. So as of 5 p.m. tomorrow, Friday, March 20th, all Walt Disney World resorts will be closed. So we know that tomorrow. That is a definite time frame. All Walt Disney World resorts will be closed. Disney Springs, all Disney owned and operated stores are closed. As of this morning, only Ron Jon Surf Shop and STK Orlando had operating hours for today. They are third-party vendors. They are not owned or operated by Disney, so they were allowed to make their own decisions on when they wanted to close, if they wanted to close. So they're still open. I don't know. There's so much uncertainty right now. There is. And trust me, my wife Stacy and I, more than anything, want to know exactly what's going to happen. All we have to go on is what Disney says. And we have them to rely on to tell us what's going on with the parks. Walt Disney World, Disneyland, things such as that. We just have to wait on them, see what they say, and go with it. So, see, like Jen just said, Disney is telling resort cast members 30 days as of tomorrow at 5 p.m. That may be true. It's quite possible. I cannot give that or say that with certainty because Disney has not told us that publicly. We've heard information before from sources or cast members and such as that, because maybe that's what they were told. And by the time the news came publicly from Disney, an announcement, it had changed. So we have to wait on them. Stay tuned to Dr. Disney, drdisney.com, the Dr. Disney Facebook page. We're going to be giving you all the updates. Every time we hear something confirmed, we were going to give you that update. The dream designers at My Mickey Vacation Travel, they are still working diligently with all their guests to reschedule things, get things fixed, move trips around. Just know that travel is going to become possible again. It may not be right now, but it will become possible. Maybe don't cancel, postpone, move it, reschedule, push it out. That's going to happen. Things are going to get back to normal and things are going to come back around. Trips are still going to be possible. Disney World, Disneyland, they will still be there and you'll be able to enjoy that magic. Just know that it's coming back and things will still continue on. Stacey Lynn, Lisa and Mark, good. Thank you both very much. Try this. Hopefully you enjoyed this tonight. And hopefully I answered some of your questions on the confusion that's going on. Again, I don't have a lot of equipment with me here. We're going to be doing more of these in the coming days. And while all this is happening, we can't go to the park. So hopefully we can bring information to you. We're going to keep bringing you some pictures that we have stockpiled, maybe bring a smile to your day and bring you information as we know it. Andrea, real quick, date of reopening is still April 1st. That's all we know as of right now. As Disney gives us more information, we'll keep bringing it to you. drdisney.com, Dr. Disney Facebook page, My Mickey Vacation Travel. Stick with all of us. We're going to bring you the information as it comes. And I really do appreciate all those that tuned in tonight. Keep sending pictures. Not pictures. Keep sending us comments. Keep sending us questions. Let us know what you want to know about. We'll do more of these and we'll keep you informed. Thank you very much and see you real soon.